Elon Musk, he's been in the news a lot this week. We'll talk about a couple of the different ways he's infiltrated himself into our life. But Alec, you're going to talk to us about Elon Musk's relationship with memes.
Yeah, so there was I've been following mostly mockingly Elon Musk for a while now, but there was a pretty good article in the New York Times by Taylor Lorenz, who writes all of the interesting things about the internet that come out, or at least like 80% of them.
Right.
Headline is Elon Musk, meme lord or meme lifter. The whole, I guess, debate, controversy, whatever you want to call it, is Elon Musk promotes his public image on Twitter via the internet by posting a lot of dank memes. I'm not a monster. I understand that some of the memes are in fact dank. I'm not going to say that every meme he posts is bad. I'm not, some kind of ideologue. However, there's a lot of controversy because he is stealing memes, not giving credit for them. This has, there's two sorts of precedent. One is it's the internet and nobody ever gets credits for memes and everyone just steals everything and intellectual property is bad. 100% on board with that in a sense. But the other example is an account like Fuck Jerry, popular Instagram account, was doing tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in like ads for their sponsored content, but they got all their traffic by stealing memes from smaller creators. I think there's two interesting questions here. It's choose your own adventure. One is kind of like the question about intellectual property and memes. I'm certainly sympathetic to accounts like I'm not sympathetic to accounts like Fuck Jerry stealing memes to make lots of money off of them. At the same time, I'm just like, do memes need to be a form of art that need to be compensated, or a thing that like you can be stoned at 2 a.m. and make, and it just belongs to the comments. So that's prong one. And prong two is like, what does it mean for Elon Musk to use memes as a way to promote his public image? Other billionaires have other ways of promoting their public image. Bill Gates, after the world hated him after an antitrust case, turned to philanthropy, and then he started hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. Anyway, Elon Musk does some charity things, et cetera, et cetera. But, I think most people love him as a person and a personality and will follow him and argue with people on the strangers on the internet because he's a dank meme lord, and that makes them feel like he's their friend.
I'll say this really quick. I think there's two ways I can think of to look at the meme lord. One way, and this is the more negative way to look at the meme lord, is they're like the guy at the party who like quotes Wedding Crashers or Step Brothers and thinks that they are funny because they can do that. Or Family Guy, right? I don't like that person. If you're that person, do better. But so and no one likes that guy because they are presenting comedic ideas or anecdotes created by someone else as their own for the sake of clout, making friends, being loved, having people find them funny. The other way to look at it, though, is a good DJ will often present you with songs they did not create, but part of what makes them talented is their commitment to digging through the crates to find unheard of songs that you might not have heard. So even if they didn't write the song, I would still give credit to a DJ if they play some like Brazilian funk song from 1973, the 1,000 copies of it were pressed or something like that. So I think there's like two ways to look at it that way. I tend with this to veer towards the first one, the guy that wants to sound funny even though he's not. And I think something that bugs me about it is like if a DJ was doing that, they'd probably share what it was with you, or if they wouldn't, it'd be because they put in the effort to find it, like if they were digging through record crates in another country. But it doesn't take effort to find these memes. They're largely being sent to Musk. And I think, the one person you said who has the Doge Daddy or whatever account or whatever you said it was, what it just makes me think of is like, why couldn't he just give people credit? Like, yeah. I don't know. I have a thing, like if I have a friend that has 75 Twitter followers and they say something very funny, I'm not liking, baby. I'm retweeting. Because you got to spread the love and you got to let people see who said the funny or witty thing. And I would feel a lot different about this. And this is where Fuck Jerry was so bad. And shouts to Meg Wright at Vulture, who did a really good takedown of Fuck Jerry called Fuck Jerry last year. But just give credit. I just don't get it. Like if someone sends you the thing, tag them. If they post it on their account, retweet their thing. This guy has enough going on in his life. Does he need credit for memes too?
This feels very like on brand for Elon Musk. Like from what I know of him, he just seems like the kind of guy that would do it. And like he seems like the kind of guy that would like
others.
Yeah. And like also like if like how there's like the watermark or something, he strikes me as the type of dude who would like go in and like take 5 minutes out of his day to like Photoshop the watermark out. Because he's that small of a person that like
Whoa.
he can't give credit to others or uplift others.
Like, would we be mad? I don't know. Do we think there's a large distinction between Elon Musk doing that with 52 million followers and someone with 52 followers doing this?
Yeah. If Bill Gates goes shoplifting, you're like, what the fuck? You don't need to do this. But like, if some random person with no money, you're like, okay, I could forgive that.
Yeah.
I disagree, respectfully disagree. I think that it's the intent. Like, I can't get over like the motivation behind it. I still think it's shitty. Like, whether you have 52 million followers or 52, like you're still not doing you're still making a bad choice.
Why do businessmen, inventors, technologists, why do they also need to be perceived as funny? You know, like, why can't you just do one thing? I think, like, you know, Jamie Dimon, the sociopath that runs Chase Bank, he doesn't care if you think he's funny, and he's not trying to also be considered like a funny, cool guy. He's just like counting money and writing legislation and taking his helicopter to lunch. There's a certain phenomenon amongst, you know, a Musk arid person where they want to be all the things. I guess a version of that from the previous generation is like Bill Gates can't just be a tech guy. He also has to be a philanthropist. He also has to speak on, you know, vaccinations when he has no formal medical training. I think Alec will correct me if I'm wrong there.
It's true.
And at least there he's trying to like do something helpful, but there's something about the current era of people where like every rich, successful person who's prominent in the media wants to be funny, wants to be looked at as a humorous person. And I don't know where that comes from or what the root of that is, but it sucks. And it's bad.
So from my very limited understanding of psychology, I think it's something to do with like once you've reached once you've maxed out on one aspect of your life, like fame or wealth or whatever, you keep looking for the next thing.
But I think the interesting thing with something like comedy, or let's say even like music or whatever, is like you can't purchase creativity the way you can purchase other things. So Jeff Bezos doesn't have to know anything about rocket science, and he can pay a bunch of money and start a rocket company. You know, for many things, let's say I want to be a plane collector. All I need is money. I can start collecting planes. Or I want to sponsor an F1 team and introduce the drivers to Surbhi because that's the kind of guy I am. I can do that with money. But like, you can't buy. It makes me think of like James Dolan, the guy that owns the New York Knicks and I think the Rangers, and he's a piece of shit. He has this like horrible band, and he's like the front man of his band. But because he's rich, he like pays to get shows for his band, and they suck. Because you can't, no amount of money can make you good at music. No amount of money can make you a funny person or buy you a sense of humor. And it seems like it's this like stumbling block where the rich are just like, the money has bought me everything else I want in life. It's bought me love and spaceships and cars and whatever. Why can't it also buy me humor or creativity?